We have information about Adrian Andrew Martinez, a 20-year-old that was brutally taken by ICE this morning while at his job at Walmart in Pico Rivera. This is footage from Oscar Preciado, who I was able to get in contact with, get some context from. We also have information from another reporter at LA Taco, Aisha, who was able to interview Adrian's sister. And we also are working on more information to get out there because this is wild. So, from what I can confirm right now, Adrian is a U.S. citizen, according to his family. That's what his family has told our reporter, that Adrian is an actual U.S. citizen. Now, what Adrian was doing there is he's working at Walmart, obviously. And according to Oscar, Adrian was stepping in to confront the ICE agents on how they brutally took his coworker, who also works at Walmart. And what happened because of that? Well, you can see here the scuffle. They wrestled him to the ground. He was assaulted for that. He didn't like that very much. The cameraman, Oscar Preciado, who was recording all of this, says that they escalated everything when everybody started recording and talking to them. And you can see how they treated this young gentleman. According to Oscar, he says that they grabbed him, Oscar the cameraman, by the neck, threw him to the ground. He was able to escape. Poor Adrian couldn't, though. He said that there were about 3 Border Patrol trucks and there were 3 unmarked trucks. And in total, about 310 witnesses around the area. You can see ICE agents here trying to force Adrian into the truck for the sole crime of speaking up for his coworker.
In the latest chapter of Trump making us less safe, of which there are many scary chapters, is what he is doing regarding ICE and the quotas behind ICE, how this is affecting Los Angeles, both in terms of keeping it safe and in terms of its business. My name is Dina Doll with the MeidasTouch Network. Let's break this down. Now, here in Los Angeles, we are reeling from the effects of what Trump is doing with ICE in terms of the economics, and I'm certainly going to get into that. But let's even first talk about these quotas. He's requiring ICE to meet certain quotas, and this is affecting the safety of here and elsewhere, how ICE goes about it. And how ICE goes about it is even hurting the department itself, as evidently morale is down as a result of how Trump is handling all of this. Now, if in order to meet quotas, what ICE is doing is they are not spending the time necessary to actually go after the gang members that Trump is saying he's trying to go after, to actually go after people who are here undocumented and are criminal and keeping us less safe, because that requires investigation. It requires time. It requires effort. Somebody who is part of a transnational gang is not the one who's going to show up at an immigration hearing. They're not the ones who are going to show up outside a Home Depot, certainly now that they know about these ICE raids. And so when they are trying to meet the quotas, instead of going after people that may be making us less safe, Trump is going after people that are just easy to pick up. And the people who are easy to pick up are the ones who are trying to stay here legally. And they are trying to stay here legally by showing up to their court hearings. They are trying to go through the legal process. They're trying to go through what our government has told them to go through in order to stay here legally. But it's an easy place to find somebody who's not yet a citizen, because you know that's why they're showing up to an immigration court hearing. The laziness of ICE is keeping us less safe. And same with going to the Home Depot. I mean, they didn't even have to go inside the Home Depot in order to find the people that they rounded up. I saw some comments about social media. They were wondering, how is this working, that they're working inside the Home Depot? They weren't working inside the Home Depot. They were day laborers who gather outside Home Depot in order for somebody to hire them for the day in order to help install that sink they just bought or paint that room and that paint that they just bought. It is easy to go there and arrest anybody that happens to be there. All of us know that that is a possibility. That doesn't require any investigation. It doesn't determine if somebody is safe or not safe. It is just a matter of meeting a number and meeting a quota. And here in Los Angeles, this is causing real economic harm. And it's also traumatizing an entire community. There are people here who are citizens, but maybe still have an accent. Citizens, but can be racially profiled. And they are, instead of just going out about their daily business, confident that as citizens, they are protected, they are scared, and they are not even going out as often as they would. And if they do, they're trying to do things like bring passport cards. And when people don't go out and do the things that they normally do, businesses get hurt. And new reporting is showing what we are all kind of anecdotally seeing in Los Angeles. Things are a lot quieter. If you go into certain neighborhoods, there's a lot less people walking around. You're hearing report after report. Is it rumor? Is it true? About ICE rounding up caregivers in parks and leaving children behind or separating the children. That fear of these incidents that travel around parent sites is making parks emptier. I don't know about you, but when it starts to get hot and I pull out the clothes that I haven't worn since last summer, I realize that a lot of them are not that great. I've either worn them out or I'm sick of them. But it's hard to buy clothes that you're only going to wear once or just for one season. And Quince changes that because their clothes are timeless, lightweight, and much more elevated than anything else at their price point. They have things like 100% linen, European linen shorts and dresses from $30, Luxe swimwear, Italian leather platform sandals, and more. And everything with Quince is half the cost of similar brands. And they do this by working directly with top artisans and cutting out the middleman. So when I went shopping for summer, I actually bought this. It is cashmere, but it's very lightweight. It's short sleeves, but I have to look professional even in the summer. And this gives me a professional look without actually making me hot. And of course, its price point was great. So give your summer closet an upgrade with Quince. Go to quince.com/mistrial for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/mistrial to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/mistrial. Parks are quieter. Church festivals have less people showing up. The LA Times is talking about small business after small business and saying there are less customers because people are afraid of Trump's ICE policy. Republicans used to say they were the party of small business. Well, not anymore because small businesses are getting crushed in Los Angeles. And it's not making us any safer. According to John Sandwig, he used to be the acting ICE director under Obama, this practice of quotas is backfiring. He said, quote, "They have no choice but to pivot away from that guy," speaking of trying to find the transnational gang member, "because you could sink 100 hours to get that gang member and you'd get one arrest. But it's a really good arrest and made a huge impact on public safety." So instead of Trump spending the 100 hours, instead of him directing ICE, instead of ICE spending that 100 hours in order to get the person who's actually going to keep us safe, ICE is doing the easy, lazy thing of going to get people where it's easy to find them. And of course, the other easy, lazy thing they're doing is making people who are legal illegal by canceling the temporary protected status of Venezuelans, Haitians, hundreds and thousands of people who they are planning to deport who were here legally, if temporarily legally. So they take away that status. That helps them with their quotas. And then they show up at places like courts where it's easy to deport them as well. But this doesn't make us less safe. It makes it easier for that gang member to actually hide because nobody is spending the time looking for them. Of course, this is why we saw the huge protest over the weekend in Los Angeles because of what Trump is doing to our communities. Because downtown Los Angeles, where I was a massive. The amount of patriotic American flags, as well as Mexican flags and signs. we are the majority. We are the majority standing up against Trump's lawlessness, for his attack on communities that are so vital to us, and speaking to people there. Many members of the Meidas Mighty speaking to people there. Everyone there for the same purpose, standing up for democracy, saying no kings, no ICE, no troops, essentially. But it wasn't even just downtown Los Angeles. And that's the thing that is so remarkable. The number of people who came out throughout Los Angeles County and beyond was huge. We had in Santa Monica, in Torrance, in Thousand Oaks. There were so many people across the area of Los Angeles standing up against ICE, what Trump is doing with ICE and what Trump is doing with the troops. We can't forget that we're the majority, and we certainly were able to come together as like-minded people and say, what you're doing, your policy is wrong, because nobody is ever against deportations. I mean, Obama, Biden, we have obviously had deportations across every administration. This isn't that. This is trying to strip away the legal process from people who are literally in the middle of the legal process. And this is about actually turning away from finding criminals to just finding people for the quota. And this is affecting even the morale within ICE, which between that and the protests of the people, this is why we go in the streets. This is why we exercise our First Amendment rights, because all their power is borrowed. And it is a reminder that they are just borrowing our power. And if there is any ICE officials that want to resign, speak out, step aside, they know they are doing it in solidarity of millions and millions and millions of others. So here in Los Angeles, we are still in the middle of this, and we are seeing just the beginning of the economic fallout of it. And we are seeing that yet again, Trump is a lot of talk, but he can't actually do the action. If he really wanted to round up criminals, he can. They could put resources to that, but they are not. Trump is making us less safe, and we should continue to repeat that until all the people who voted for him know it. My name is Dina Doll with the MeidasTouch Network. Be sure to free subscribe so you are updated on all the many developments coming out of Trump's regime.
Love this video? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch and help us blow past 1 million followers.